Hello everyone. Today we will look at scope, the nested scope again, and some more ideas about it. And so we are going to look at nested lambdas. So the idea of nested scope is that function within a function. So we have seen this, right? F, for example, we can write Fm, and I can say def F2 and then if I say return m star n, and if I say return f2, right? So f is basically defining f2 and returning that, and m, so when we call f, we need to pass only the value of m, right? So if I say y equal to f, and if I call say 2 and z equal to f of 3, for example, and if I say y of 1 and z of 1, we get 2 3 because y is remembering 2 and z is remembering 3, right? So this the state retention with the enclosing scope. So we have seen this previously. Now let us code this thing with lambdas. So very simple. So we are going to remove all this, and we just pass in a lambda, right? Lambda, and this is m. So now let us do, so if I do y equal to f of 2, z equal to f of 3, and y of 1, right? Again, the same thing works. So the same idea, function within a function, where we are coding with the lambda expressions. Now we are going to code, we are going to take, for example, and we are going to create a list. Inside that list we are going to put, say, 10 lambda expressions, right? So I say a equal to empty list, and I'm going to run a loop from 1 to 10. The I is my loop variable, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say a dot append lambda. Here I'm going to say this is my we don't need it, so we'll just put here n is my loop, so I, and this is n. Yeah, so I is so we have 10 lambda expressions being appended to an empty list. So the variable, the I is running from 1 for the first entry in the list, then 2 3 and so on and so forth, right? And now we'll return here a. Okay, so now if I call that, I'm going to call with f, right? So now we have the first entry is this a list, y is a list of 10 lambdas. So y0, when I put 1, so what is happening? 1, n is becoming 1, right? So now let's say, so 1 to the power of 1, right? Now if I put 1, right, so basically 2 to the power of 1. So everything has become 999. So the reason for this is that this the state retention, right? So the function is being created, all the lambda is created inside the loop when we call the function, but the value of I is evaluated when we later call the function. So when I'm calling here, I is evaluated. At that time, all of my loop is ended, and the I has become 1 2 3 4 up to 9, the last value of I. So when we call it, when I is being remembered, I is now 9. So everybody is giving us the same value. So in order to fix that, we can what we can do here is that I can go here and pass as a default value, like other times we do. But now the value of I is I equal to I means the value of I is first is 1, then second time is 2, third and fourth. The default value is 1 2 3 4 example. Now each of the lambdas are created with the default value 1 2 3 4 etc, right? So now when I call y again, now when I'm calling that, I'm going to say if I do 0 and 1, so now I'm not passing the value of I, right? It's already defaulted, so I'm only passing the value of n. So that is giving me 1, right? And now I'm going to put 1, that is giving me 2, 3. Now it is behaving exactly the way we want. So this is the idea of, so we can use in general lambdas like other functions, and use the scope, the state retention ideas as other functions, the normal functions. But we need to be careful here, especially when we use the lambdas in a nested scope and using inside a for loop. So everybody will be remembering the last value unless we give the value as a default. These ideas will be using, suppose when we code GUIs, graphical user interfaces, for example tkinter, we'll be using this stuff there, especially the nested scope ideas. And thank you very much for watching.